Alright guys, alright, so I've routed the live cable for the amp, for the monoblock. Unfortunately I forgot to video it at the time. I didn't have any spare hands and I didn't have anybody to help me. But I'll run through where I've routed it to, what I've done and how it's ended up in the boot. The only issue is, right, it's a 5-meter cable that comes with the kit. But with routing it through from the battery through the firewall of the engine bay to behind the head unit in the footwell, I need an extra meter. Alright, so I've bought a coupler, a 4-gauge coupler, and an extra meter of 4-gauge wire cable to go on it when I connect everything up. Alright, so let's have a look. So I routed the live and it goes, I've routed it over there, down there, and it goes into that. That bit right there. Alright, so that is where it pokes in through the loom bit just there, just there, through there, that's where it goes in. Alright, and it comes out, I'll show you where it comes out. It comes out just where is it? There, that's where it pops out, just there. Alright, so straightforward, I poked it through with a big ass screwdriver. So now I'm going to try and route it through the centre bit all the way up to the back. So I've managed to get the centre console off. Alright, and let's turn that down because that would be copyright out, you know. So yeah, so I've got the centre console, not centre console, the handbrake surround off. Alright, so a couple of bolts, one there either side, and then one there and there, just unscrewing with a Phillips, and that slips right off. So I'll put the back seats up there. So I'm going to now run it all the way along there, underneath that bit of carpet there, all the way up and out to the back there. I've pulled, let's have a look. Yeah, so that's where it comes out to. Alright, so I'm going to now feed it up through there, all the way up, and I even found a 20p while I was at the process down here somewhere. So I'm quitting now. Yeah, so that's the plan, and I'll get back to you when it's done. So that's the cable all routed. Alright, so it goes under there, all the way up there, and up through there. I did have to take off the 2 seat bits, obviously there, I'm in the way, and there, just undid it, slid it forward. I also took the back seat rest off, or the back seat clasp off there, because there's a big hole there of fabric and a big hole of fabric there, and what I did is I fed it down through there, up through that one. I got my hand through there all the way along, grabbed it and pulled it back out, and then I fed it up through there and then in and put everything back in, and that's it. So the other thing I forgot to mention is the routing of the 12-volt remote and the RCA cable, the pre-out, whatever you want to call it. So the remote for the amp is actually routed up the same line as the live cable. So that's in from the centre, up the centre console, and then straight up through the back. And the pre-outs for the amp is up the side, up the passenger side of the car. So they come in from the head unit, over the glove box, down behind the panelling, which I'll show you now. So the panelling comes all the way, obviously I've tucked it in behind behind that bit just there, all along here. It's tucked in under here, all the way along, alright, and then in through there, up underneath there, all the way up through the back, and then in through the boot. So there you go, so that's the live wire routed through the engine bay, the firewall, up the centre of the car to the boot, ready for the monoblock to be installed once I get everything else done. There probably are other ways to do it, but yeah, that's the easiest way I found for me. I was going to route it up the side of the car, but I would have had even less room and needed to buy more cable. But because the amp is going in the middle, I thought that the middle route was easiest for me. But yeah, there you go, that's it, done, sorted. I'll catch you on the next install.